Is Zillow Offers still buying homes in Southern California? The answer is yes, and we're going to show you exactly how many homes Zillow Offers has continued to buy. And then we're going to run through why they would continue to buy the homes in Southern California. Hey there, Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates. We've been there since the beginning, helping tenants and landlords and buyers and sellers make the best decisions in Southern California and beyond. And while the rest of the world has moved on from Zillow Offers, we've been tracking it since they shut it down. Every week, our email newsletter subscribers get a list of all the properties that Zillow has owned. So we're going to share the number of homes that Zillow Offers owns and break it down by county so you can see what Zillow Offers has been up to since they shut it down. Quick reminder on what Zillow Offers is. So Zillow Offers was an iBuying platform. They were reaching out directly to sellers and giving offers to buy a home. Then from there, Zillow Offers would fix the home up a little bit, maybe paint and flooring, and put it back on the market for sale. So October 18th of 2021 rolls around, and suddenly Zillow Offers is saying they're not going to write any new contracts because they're at operational capacity. They blamed it on labor and material shortages. And at the time, it looked like they were going to continue to move forward after gearing things up. Well, then November 2nd, 2021 hits, and Zillow announces just before their third quarter call that Zillow Offers is done. Unfortunately, the algorithm that Zillow was using for Zillow Offers ended up paying sellers too much for their homes, and they quickly found themselves with a lot more properties than they should have, and at prices that didn't quite work out. So as of November 2nd, they stopped courting new sellers, stopped writing new offers. They canceled some of the contracts that they had out there, and they've continued to move forward with the rest of those contracts. In the news, they reported how happy they are at the rate they've been getting rid of properties. In fact, in some cases, they've been selling them in bulk to investors who then will rent them out on the open market. Now, this in Southern California is much more difficult to do because Southern California tends to be a lower cap rate market, which means that the prices are high and the rents are high, but not high enough to make it a great return. So I didn't expect in previous content I released that we'd see a lot of homes going to bulk sales, and this has proven to be true. Let's dive into the data. So let's see the number of homes that Zillow has been going through in Southern California. And you can see that our list starts in November 7th, 2021 and runs all the way through last weekend, just before shooting this video. And why do we have these numbers? Well, our email newsletter subscribers get a list of all the properties that Zillow currently owns. So you can see the announcement was on 11/2. So November 2nd, 2021, Zillow said, we're done. We're not gearing up to buy more. We're going out of business in Zillow Offers. So you can see that that week after, that actually inventory started to go up. So we can see that there was a slow increase in the number of homes that they owned in Southern California. The number of homes then plateaued in late November, early December, around Thanksgiving, and then it's continued to drop. We saw mid-December that they dropped below the 1,000 homes in SoCal number, and then you can see where we are currently up to about last weekend before shooting this, they're down to 660. But just because we've seen the numbers go down doesn't mean that they're done buying. In fact, they actually bought 28 homes so far in the month of January. And the reason we say so far is because this data is at least 2 weeks behind in some counties. So as of shooting this video, there's maybe a few more that will show up as we get a little farther into the month of February. And here we have it broken down by the 5 counties in Southern California where Zillow was buying. So that's Orange County, LA, Riverside, San Bernardino, and San Diego. And we've got this chart broken down, and our email newsletter subscribers get these numbers and they also get these charts. So we encourage you to subscribe. But you can see that when you look at it as a county by county level, that increase, plateau, and drop is different for the different counties. So you can see that in LA and OC, they've been more quickly disposing of properties. These are the total numbers. So the numbers you're looking at any given point in time, any of these weeks, these are how many properties properties that Zillow owns in the respective county. That means they've purchased some and they've sold some, and they've continued to sell properties. So in order to replenish, in order to see either these leveling off or you see things going up, for example, for San Bernardino, that means they're still acquiring properties in these areas. And what it is, these acquisitions, these aren't brand new contracts. These are people that they had in contract before and they're finally closing on. So that is what they're doing. The interesting thing is we've continued to see the run up in values, and Zillow's predicting crazy numbers again for 2022 and the increase in value. So it'd be interesting to see if they're able to turn any of these properties into profitability. And my guess is yes. That's why they continue to close on some of these properties in some of these areas. So why would Zillow continue to close on these homes that they have under contract? Well, the short answer is some of the homes are profitable. While their artificial intelligence algorithm got out of control and they were paying too much, there are some homes that they did get a deal on. So these are ones that they can go ahead and close on and turn over and make a profit. The good news is when they stopped and made the big announcement that Zillow Offers was ending, they were able to cancel some contracts. Now that was good news for Zillow, not for the sellers who were under contract with Zillow. But what that allowed Zillow to do was cull the most unprofitable contracts and decide to move forward on those that still made sense. So that's our opinion on why they're still closing on some. There's a level of profitability that makes sense for Zillow to continue. They still have operational capacity to continue to close on these homes. At the time they made the announcement, they were cutting about 25% of their staff. That still left a lot of good folks in the program who can continue to manage the process. So we will see they'll continue to close out on these homes. For now, iBuying is definitely dead for Zillow. I doubt there's enough profit to be squeezed out of the homes they have left to make it worth their while, but you never know what Zillow's up to and you have to keep a close eye. They may figure out a twist on this that allows them to come back into the market and remain profitable on some sort of iBuying type program. And don't forget that a lot of these homes in Southern California are going to be coming to the market for sale in the near future. So that's why we provide the list to our email newsletter subscribers. They can review all the properties in Southern California by address. And if they're interested, reach out to us. And this even includes the ones that haven't hit the market yet. Let us know in the comments below your opinions on Zillow Offers. I know a lot of you were happy to see it implode, and I know others of you were just curious to see if that business model could work. Make sure you check out these other videos we did on Zillow Offers so you can see that we were actually wrong. Check out that video where we offer a mea culpa. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates, and we appreciate you.